to. Uh-oh.
The legend.
Hey guys,
Legendary.
what's up, guys?
What's up, my man? Welcome into the show. The legend, Mike the Legend from Team
Uh,
Legend Podcast. Give us your thoughts.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had to miss the second half. My 15-year-old dog, she took her last breath and had to take her to the vet to get cremated. So I only got to watch the first half.
So you got to watch
But
the good part of it.
yes, I got to watch the.
You could just
And
pretend
y'all
you
got the
won
separate.
14-10. You just pretend you
Yes,
won
I
14-10.
got to pretend.
They won 14-10.
Yes, but
Yeah.
no, I was on Coach Rick's show here just a few minutes ago, and there again, a tale of two halves. I mean, I went on live during halftime. I kind of pumped my chest, excited to see that we had a script, we had proficient play calling. I mean, that touchdown going from the 20 and that they scored there before the half. I mean, that's probably the best we've looked all year. I mean, we had some good runs, some good passes, quick, and then, as the old country saying goes, it went to shit in the handbasket the second half.
Sorry to hear about your dog, man.
Yeah, man, that's that.
Nothing fun about that.
No. People ask me, well, why didn't you just bury her? No, she was my little service animal. She got me through a lot of PTSD stuff. Had her for 15 years. She had cancer. God bless her.
Just like that. I did the same thing with my dog.
And so she didn't deserve to be buried in the cold, dark ground. So, but anyway, guys, what I'm looking at now is I kind of heard y'all say there's been a lot of hot seat talk about firing BV. No, I'm not ready to jump on that bandwagon yet. Not. I mean, what I see in the offense right now is we're seeing a hangover from Seth Luttrell. And I told this to Coach Ricks. They're either going to have to bring in an old priest and a new priest to exorcise that Seth Luttrell demon out of their head or something. Because Chris and Jason, y'all probably agree with this. Our confidence is lacking right now. Very bad. And
from the top.
And I think from what we've heard about Seth, and I'm trying to keep from beating a dead horse, but it looks like his trickle down effect. It's going to take a little while to get out of these players, guys.
Yeah. I mean, they're downtrodden, right? I mean, the main game will be a nice palate cleanser for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you go to Missouri. If you could somehow piece together a game and pull that off, and then have a bye week to finish up Bama and LSU, knowing that you're going bowling. I don't think Bama's going to anywhere near the juggernaut we thought. From the first half of the UGA game. I mean, the elephants astray. They just put a touchdown on against Missouri, but they don't look very good against Missouri at all. Missouri looks like crap. And LSU, I think, is rounding into form, and that game's in Baton Rouge is an ambush game for us. But again, I wasn't expecting a win today. I just wanted the offense to look better, and for the most part, I think we got that box checked. The cornerback position on defense is worrying me. The front seven on defense is great. The third quarter was disappointing, but you're on the road against Jackson Dart's a very good quarterback. They've got loaded. They got a good wide receiver core, and the issue is we keep playing teams where the critical matchup in the game is a mismatch. We keep playing NFL D lines against our broken down craptastic O line. And it's deciding football games week after week. There's nothing you can do about it. And unless you have,
Exactly.
unless you've got a 5-star elite quarterback who's consistently making chicken salad out of chicken, and just fling stuff together. But
listen, I do want to say that you did get a little bit of that today. It looked a lot better from Jackson at times. At least he was decisive about getting out of the pocket when you needed to. He got sacked 9 times, but it could have been a hell of a lot more than that because he took off on the run. I like the way they ran the football today. I like the way they ran the football.
Yeah, I think you saw some signs of Johns, and you saw some signs. And we had a freaking game plan, and
yes,
you add some veteran wide receivers back to the mix. At least one of them. It's going to look better, and it's going to look better week over week. Does that mean we get more wins? I have no idea. But Missouri looks like dog crap right now, and Alabama is another loss away, I think, from that team. For that team kind of imploding a little bit.
Base is going nutty on them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they're another loss. I mean, if they lose another game, they're out of the playoffs, and that fan base is going to implode. And that team, all those NFL guys,
8-5 or 7-5 that first year.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So I mean, it's from that perspective. But I think, Legend, you're right. We saw some improvement. We saw some stuff. But the team does need a little bit of a. We need a. I'm an old tech support guy, right? We need a hard reboot of the football team, right? It's like, okay, don't unplug it from the wall for a good, every time everyone's, did you reboot it? Why are you asking me to reboot it for the third time? Unplug the damn thing from the wall for 10 seconds.
Hard restart that son.
Hard restart. Like, why are you telling me hard restart? Because Windows and AOL stuff is just crap, okay? So just unplug it and wait 10 seconds and then plug it back in.
So guys, let's, like I said, let's kind of deep dive again. Let's try to focus on that and deep dive back into kind of some of the offensive woes. Just to point out another key point. I think play calling was good to certain points. One of the touchdown that we did get, that last touchdown that we got was really on Jackson, just keeping that play alive and working that pocket as best he could. But I felt like when you got down there to the goal line, especially on that first drive, well, on both of those drives, or it was on two drives, you're going in and your best play that you could call is a pop pass. I felt like you should have did, some type of sprint play, letting him get out there, running some type of bootleg, letting him get out there and giving him possibly a lane to run, because he was able to run, especially a lot of those pass play.
The Baker pass play.
Yeah, I just didn't really get the pop pass being used as much. I know it was kind of one of our plays that we used earlier in the season, but against that defense in that moment right there, it didn't make that much sense to me, especially when you were having success on the outside pretty much all day. I think we kind of cost ourselves some touchdowns with that.
No doubt. That's what I was saying. You were running a lot of bubble stuff, a lot of stuff out of the backfield, the little quick passes. You got to do that. When you have somebody that's teeing off on your quarterback, you got to get the damn ball out. So you don't want him getting hit. And I love the idea of, look, you think about when Baker was doing his thing for those 3 seasons. That was his best play. It was like playground ball, but he was able to get himself open space to run and throw, and it made him more dangerous, I think that you have to do that with these guys too. You don't ever want to just stick somebody in the damn pocket when you don't have the greatest offensive line, That's just me, but I think you're right. I think you're right, Chris. I think you have to take some positives from the way that they played offensively. And look, let's not sit here and act like anybody expected them to go to Ole Miss today and win. Because I didn't hear anybody saying this. That you're muted there, Mike. Can't hear you. You're a little frozen too. Come out and come back in. Come out and come back in.
Here,
there you go. There you go. Yeah, I got you.
Now, guys, I'm 6'2".
50 years old. I forgot what I was going to say, but I will say this, that I didn't expect us to go to the Grove and beat Ole Miss. I didn't, but I'm just glad that it's not losing's part of the game. It's not losing that got me. It's how you lose.
Mm-hmm.
The two blowouts to Texas and South Carolina, especially at Norman, man, that was like a dagger in my heart. And today you come out and you lose by 12. I can take that, and I'm not one for giving out participation trophies. I'll tell you that right now. But to not get blowed out, I've seen some positives in this game with the offense that we could probably build on. I've been saying all week that Joe John was not the magic bullet. But like I said, I seen some things I liked in the play calling in this game, guys. And so what y'all's take?
I agree. I mean, anybody who thought that all of a sudden we were going to start averaging 32, 40 points a game is just not realistic.
Exactly.
There was, I mean, we ran the ball reasonably well, factoring all the sack yardage, reducing the overall average and all that. We scored points. Ole Miss is a good defensive team. They've been holding people below 20 points for most of the season.
Yep.
We could have put up 20 points if we kicked 2 field goals. We had 4 scoring drives. If our defense, the defense, gave up just too many big plays in the passing game.
Yeah.
And had a couple of second and 20s and didn't get them off the field. Instead gave up first downs, which led to touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've seen in the past. Jackson Dart's a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
I said 27-10 the other day. I think on Wednesday that was my score prediction. They covered, they beat that, and could have been 26-17 easy. I mean, they should have kicked the field goal with the 4th down stop of the first drive. Drive. The second one, the clock's rolling down. Okay, if you want to say you should have continued going for that, I won't quibble there. But overall, considering where we are and considering you lost, I mean, again, guys, there's a reason Howland and Spencer Brown are like our second, third team tackles. They're not good. And when you have to play Tarquin, who's the second team swing at both positions. So really, Howland's your third team tackle. Brown is your third team tackle. They're not second teamers. Tarquin's the second teamer for both positions. What you're playing your third team tackle against a first round draft pick from Ole Miss. What do you expect's going to happen? You get creamed. So, and the O-line's not playing well. It has no cohesion. It's not been playing well. It's obvious today that I think you have a chance, if you can get it healthy and keep it healthy, that the O-line will move from entirely craptastic to just mildly craptastic by the end of the year.
Well said. Well said. It's about as good as it was. Yeah.
I think that's the. I mean, we're the most sacked team in FBS right now. They have given up the most sacks in FBS. So it's all there. So I think, it's, it's death by 1,000 cuts. I don't like some of the stuff that Jason's talking about in terms of game management. You prefer Brent's a little more on the point and confident on that, just so that you've got everything else going wrong. Let's just button down some of these other things.
Mm-hmm.
But, Chris, to me, I think
you're losing anyway. I mean, to me, throw caution to the wind. Fuck it.
Yeah, but Chris, to me, I think the play calling was better. The run game was better. I mean, we averaged nearly 4 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you'd asked me that before, I would have pre-game, I would have said based upon Ole Miss's defense.
No way.
I would have said.
They were giving up 66.
I would have said, we were going to average like sorry. The running backs averaged over 4 yards a carry. Okay, Jackson Arnold's sack yardage brought it all down. So it was 3. We averaged 3 yards a carry, but the running backs averaged over 4. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm taking that. And Jackson again did a pretty good job distributing the ball with what the time he had and the weapons he has out there. So I think it's the ATX Sooner says we need a beat and bow power line recruiting campaign similar to what Bates is doing. I mean, guys, Foji, Afalava, and Fasusi are the best effing offensive linemen, 3 offensive linemen we have recruited and got committed in the last 5 years.
Yep.
So, and the guys they have on campus, EPL, Akin, Kimmy, Brooks, and eventually Iasosa and Autry Dent, who always had a longer development cycle. All reports I get from all my insiders says they all look good, right?
Yeah.
And Ozetta's playing better, and Howland and Ozetta enrolled early.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They enrolled late and enrolled early. And my last comment is, guys, if you had Tyler Guyton and Caden Green on the left side of this offensive line, and then you were piecing everything else together on the right side of this line, we wouldn't be really having these problems.
We're working with something there. Yeah, no doubt.
You'd be working.
We'd be working
because Tyler Guyton wasn't supposed to leave early, but due to Morris not playing in the FSU bowl game allowed Guyton to get all that NFL pub because he stonewalled the FSU defensive end. And Caden Green, really, he screwed himself, right?
Yeah.
He completely screwed himself because he would be starting left tackle or maybe our starting right tackle, left guard, right tackle, whatever. He'd be either a guard or a starting guard or tackle for us, and he'd be coached by Bill, and apparently. And we wasted all that dev time last year with him to somebody else. I mean, that's where we are. Everyone's like, well, we need to improve O-line recruiting. Guys, we need to improve O-line recruiting 3 years ago. This is the bill we're paying. Everyone keeps saying O-line recruiting needs to improve. Guys, it's already improved.
It's improved. It's the guys that you got. Look, and this is what we talked about the portal stuff. The portal's a hard place to live.
Yeah.
On the offense,
it's a shitty place to live.
On either line. Whether you're a D-line guy or there's not a lot of Dominic Williams guys running around that aren't already scooped up. So
you gotta tamper like shit to get the good guys.
Yeah, you do. You do. And I mean, like, look at Lance Hurd. Everybody was talking about how great Lance Hurd was going to be. He hadn't done shit.
No, Lance ain't done.
And they dropped him. I mean, the problem was Bill whiffed on his evals and he whiffed on what he needed at tackle because he thought Sexton and Taylor would be his tackles. And when he lost, when the guard situation, he thought Hatchett was going to be his guard that he could put next to. I mean, he screwed up so badly with some evaluations and the portal stuff, but the injury stuff he needed everything to go right, and everything has gone wrong from an injury perspective. Yeah, and that's why. Yeah. But O-line recruiting is in great shape. That's the sad thing. 26 is in great shape. 27's in great shape.
Yeah.
But
that's why pulling the plug that quick is a tough way to live too, guys. You can't just look. If you could just hit it with some magic dust and it turns into awesome, then nobody would give a fuck.
Well, if you could, if
it was easy to win a damn natty, nobody would care.
But Chris, I need to bounce. My last comment is, I think what we saw from JA today, in a scheme where someone's doing stuff for him, and now he's got a QB coach. I think JA is a reclamation project that can definitely work if you get the right offensive coordinator who's an OC and QB coach in here. Maybe we don't have to pull in a transfer QB. The panic for a transfer QB is maybe not as high as I would have had it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
100%. I think really the trigger on that is I think the trigger on that really is whether if you lose somebody out of that room, mainly looking at Hawkins, right? You got the Zerberg kid who's still going to be pretty much a project, but if you lose Hawkins, then I mean that would be the trigger as far as going and getting a portal guy, obviously. But I think you could potentially see them bring in one. I don't think that you have to go to the portal for a lot, but
Well, I think 2 weeks ago, if you'd asked me, I'd have said we need a portal starter.
mhm.
We have nobody at quarterback. We've got to get a portal starter in. After this week, after watching Jackson and knowing the changes going on, I think by the time we get to LSU, we'll be like, if we can fix the O-line and we have healthy weapons at wide receiver and we have an offensive coordinator with a game plan who's going to improve our team in the offseason, I think Jackson will be perfectly fine. I think we took the first steps towards that conclusion. That's conclusion today.
Going to be fine. Either one of them is going to be fine when you get the right guy.
Mm-hmm. But I did see a more, I'm going to have to reflect with what I seen in the game, which was the first half. But I can tell that Kevin Johns
Bye, guys.
Actually.
Hey, we'll see you later. Thanks
for
coming in.
See you later. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Make sure you guys get over to STUNS 360 and he's on Patreon as well. Obviously YouTube. You can find him on Twitter everywhere. STUNS 360. You want more of the recruiting intel and stuff like that, you got to get over there and check him out, man. He's got a lot of cool stuff. Go ahead, Legend.
But like I said, in that first half, from what I've seen, I can see Kevin Johns' work being done on
Jackson.
On yeah, he looked more in that first half. He's looked more poised than I've seen him all season. Confident, making his throws. If y'all seen in that first half, his head was on a swivel, going through his reads, going through his check downs. And when they wasn't there, boom, he was gone. So that tells me all I need to know, that Kevin Johns is working and his work is being done not successfully, but it is showing.
Well, not only that, but I mean, if it is true what they said during the broadcast, then you're definitely happy that that JJF and JA sat down and went through, okay, what are the plays that you're most comfortable with, right?
Right.
So I mean,
that's a normal thing to do, smart thing to do, right?
Yeah,
very smart. Chris, you got a message. You sent a message that you have to bounce, brother.
Yeah, I'm about to
all get out of here. We're all gonna get. But listen, I think in the end, give us your final thoughts, man. What are your final thoughts on the game? What are your final? I was asking, how many games? I don't think you answered. They got 4 left. How many they win?
I think you get 2. I think you surprise somebody. I think you could get Missouri. I do think you can get Missouri. I think that and Maine are really
right now. So, yeah.
And it's not because of what they look like right now. I mean, Brady Cook will probably be back in 2 games, right? Yeah. But I think you could get Missouri, and I think you get Maine. Final thoughts about the game, man. Solid effort, great performance first half, considering what we are facing, what we have been going through this year. You come up short. You have some bonehead calls down the stretch, just kind of from a coaching standpoint, honestly. I think you kind of got clammed up a little bit in the second half, but all in all, I mean, I saw the improvement. I saw the 1-2 out there. I saw the effort and everything. Offensively, it's just some key guys went down. Some key plays weren't being made. So I think you definitely – my kid's going crazy, but I think you definitely have to account for that. Offensive line is going to have to be better going forward.
Yeah. My final thoughts is I agree with you, Chris, on the 2 wins, but Jason, who I have us upsetting this year, and I'm still standing 10 toes down on that upset.
LSU, huh? We're on LSU still? Dang.
I'm standing on that one.
Okay. Okay. Hey, whatever. It may not be a nighttime game because OU is not a prime team right now.
But final thoughts on the game today. I seen improvement. I seen a better, well scripted game with the play calling at And I thought there was enough in this game, even though losing 12 points, there's enough in this game that OU can move forward and build off of that.
Right. Listen, you have to, and that's all you can do at this point. This is what we've talked about before. I don't know if we just lost Chris for the end of it, but we've been saying this. This is where you have to have a foundation to start from. Offensively, the foundation just got built this week. They got rid of the cancer spot, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be, look, I got love for all these guys that played at Oklahoma.
I do.
You know what I mean? But, and I don't know what everything that happened, but from everything we're hearing, he was a big problem. That doesn't mean that I think that the rest of the guys get off free for it, and not that you can just stick it all on him because he was the OC. In the end, you need to. There was clearly some problems with communication and, you know, a lot of things that was not really working out well. You started to build a foundation today off of a system that these kids already knew from 2 years under Levy. It doesn't mean that they're right there. Look, your whole numbnuts is in here. Yeah. But I mean, you can only go from there. That's all you can do. And until you do bring in a real deal offensive coordinator, it's going to be what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be what it is.
Yeah. But like I said,
hey, Chris,
you know, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, Chris is going to jump. So, when we going to be back on there? Okay, Chris.
Hit me up after this. We'll talk. Maybe even tomorrow we could jump on or something like that during the afternoon, tomorrow or Monday, or I may even jump on Tuesday or whatever. I know I'll definitely be back like Wednesday or Thursday. Because there's still a lot to talk about. And people, please understand, there are things that I'm not gonna sit here and speculate on the rumor mill, but I do feel like I have some pretty good sources of some things that are happening as we speak. So keep the hope alive. Boomer Sooner Day, everybody. We got to figure it out.